How the Manifest Destiny Railroad affected the Industrial Revolution. During 1850, America was in a time of moving westward. It helped when California had hit its famous gold rush period in 1849. But traveling through plains, rivers, deserts, and over mountains was risky and dangerous. Most travelers went by sea, through Cape Horn, at the tip of South America, risking catching the dangerous yellow fever and many other diseases. Asa Whitney was the man who presented the resolution of a railroad stretching from the west to east coast. It never happened because of the growing sectionalism in Congress. But in 1860, engineer Theodore Judah found the Donner Pass and Sierra Nevada mountains. He had grouped together some investors and even was able to get Abraham Lincoln to agree to sign the Pacific Railroad Act. 2 companies were put on each side of the states. Each promised 640 acres of land and $48,000 for every mile of track they built. In 1865, after struggling to keep laborers because of the difficult work, they began hiring Chinese laborers. By this time, almost 50,000 immigrants lived on the West Coast, and 14,000 worked in the hard conditions of the Sierra Nevada mountains.
We can kiss our land goodbye. What? That can't be done. We had a deal. It's not fair. We're working as hard as we can.
I'll take you there.
In early 1869, President Ulysses S. Grant withheld government funds until the companies agreed on a meeting point. They decided on Promontory Summit, north of the Great Salt Lake. As the final spike was driven linking the Central Pacific and Union Pacific companies, telegraph cables immediately went out to President Grant and around the country with the news that the Transcontinental Railroad had been completed. This railroad paved way for greatness. Wherever it touched, cities formed near them. It raked in economic success, but most importantly, it sent us on a path to a time of electronics. The Industrial Revolution grew in size. It gave us the newfound territory of the future.